Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Wherever you are, we welcome you all from QRDI and TOBITAC teams. We would like to, first of all, thank you for dedicating the time to be with us today and hear about our programs and for your general interest about TOBITAC and QRDI program. Today, we're going to talk about the QRDI TOBITAC joint funding program. Typically, this is a sixth call from Academia Industry Corporation, titled or themed under Smart Cities Shaped by Digital and Space Technologies. We're here from QRDI, myself, Dr. Ali Al-Aboudi, Senior Research Program Manager, and my colleague, Dr. Amina Al-Surur, Research Program Manager. From our counterpart in TOBITAC, Dr. Nihad Abu Nasser, Scientific Program Expert, and Mr. Taib Kusoglu, Scientific Programs Expert. We're going to walk you through the detailed description of the program. By the end of this, we'll open the Q&A, so you can now, while going through the project, the description, you can put your question, and I'm gonna come back to the question one by one, and inshallah we'll respond to all the questions by the time. So our agenda today is objective and research priority areas, and then the application process, submission and evaluation process, the timeline, and we're gonna open by the question and answer after our description here. So the objects and research priority areas.
Dr. Ali, can you share your screen? It's not visible now.
Sure.
You make it full screen?
Sure. Is it okay, everyone?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. So the program objectives, the joint funding program objectives between QRDI in Qatar and TOBITAC in Turkey are the following. So the aim of this joint program is to intensify cooperation between the Turkish and Qatari partners in science and industry by means of academia and industry cooperation call, and we usually call it AICC. The program inspires partners with end users and industrial sector to facilitate data accessibility, testing, deployment, and commercialization of the research outcomes by the end of the projects. The program intends to lay the foundation for a lasting R&D and innovation partnership. For our current call, which is the sixth cycle, is dedicated to the topic of smart cities shaped by digital and space technologies. It aims to enhance the impact of research outcomes, boost TRL, and build human talents in the field of smart cities. For this kind of specific call, which is number 6, as we mentioned, smart cities shaped by digital and smart and space technologies. Our objectives are to address the continuous geographical and economic growth of the cities through insightful and persistent R&D efforts, assign multidisciplinary R&D efforts leveraging ICT and space techs to create resilient, inclusive, and sustainable smart city solutions, provide added value to the city operators and residents from the massive 24/7 data streams delivered from communication and observation-based satellites, realize the ambitions and the national strategies and the national objectives of the Turkey and Qatar for city urbanization and society development through our efforts here in R&D and innovation streams. So we have 5 research priority areas. We encourage you to handle them or address them in your proposals. The first one is smart environment, drive sustainable communication of natural resources, minimize food waste, and ensure water, food security, soil, and other city natural assets to ensure the protection of the environment and the sustainability of nature. Number two, smart health care, generate an increment in population access to quality health care using smart services to mitigate the impact of chronic and systematic diseases. It considers integrated and collaborative systems for provisioning and access to care outside clinics and hospitals. So this is to maximize the e-health, the telehealth kind of means, and to widen the services outside the clinics and hospitals. Number three, we have smart logistics. This is to grow competitive logistics sector that promotes international trade and business development. The area covers effective logistics management and decision-making delivered through consolidated digital channels. It also covered enhanced and advanced technologies to predict and protect against disasters and threats, to protect citizens and ensure crisis management. The fourth theme is about smart sports. Establish a world-class, personalized, and memorable sports fan journey, connected fans through intelligent and immersive live game. It includes also smart crowd, event facilities management, and leverage the large sports innovation process and technologies, the latest sports innovation processes and technologies. The last theme or thrust for our research priority areas is smart transportation, which is a key one. Facilitate mobility through a safe and reliable and environmentally friendly transport network. This area considers ICT supported and integrated systems, including tram, bus, train, subway, car, sea and air transport, bicycles and pedestrians, creating sustainable, secure and interconnected transportation systems. So this is also one of our 5 themes. So what's expected kind of outcomes you're going to deliver at the researchers by the end of this project? This is anticipated outcomes, of course, not limited. You can come with other things other than the 3 we just highlighted here. Depends also on the size. Some of your solution is going to be city scale. Some of your solution is going to be only standalone solutions. So the first one is developing a new competitive standalone solution, use cases and services that can bring short-term economic and societal impacts or societal impacts. This is what we're looking for, hopefully short-term. New customized and improved city-scale digital platforms aiming to establish a solid step towards sustainable development. Integrating digital and space sensing, data analytics, IoT, blockchain, and biometrics technologies for city monitoring, management, and planning purposes. For your tools or research, this is also just a guiding, is not really mandatory. So we expect that the research tool that you're going to use include the following, and also is not limited to the following: advanced sensors and IoT, next generation networks, satellite communication, internet and GPS, space-inspired techs like elite image processing, vision sensors, Earth observatory, and etc. Big data and data analytics, of course, machine learning, robotics, and artificial intelligence, infinite computing, cloud fog, edge computing, and other things that related to city level or city sensors. Blockchain, of course, important for logistics and other things, smart logistics and other things. This is, kind of framing your kind of way how to handle this. For the application, this is, the steps that you're gonna use during your submission. Application types, our applications here are new. So there is no resubmission because this is kind of new themes compared to the fifth. The fifth was about fintech. This is, about smart cities. So most of our applications here are predominantly new. The resubmission option is not there. The eligibility of the proposal. Here we make kind of changes to make it easy for the applicants. We used to have in the past 2+2 model, which includes one academic, one industrial from Turkey, one academic, one industrial from Qatar. In this cycle, we make it easy. We make it only 1+1. So there is, participation of at least one submitting institution from each country. 1 and +1. Of course, still collaboration is encouraged, but it's not mandatory. For the Qatari side, all academic, public, private, and other non-profit NGOs, entities with QRDI approved research office are eligible to be a submitting institution. For the Turkish side, industry sector companies are allowed to apply to this call without the need to collaborate with Turkey universities. On the other side, Turkey universities are allowed to apply to this call only in collaboration with a Turkey-based company industrial sector. So from Turkey side, we need to have at least industrial sector. Universities is also allowed, but provided that they have industrial sector from Turkey in partnership. Each Turkish and Qatar-based teams must be led by a lead principal investigator, lead PI. Each proposal should have a project coordinator selected from the 2 lead PIs. Again, still, we're going to move deeply in the Qatar side here in the few slides. So what institutions are eligible for Qatar-based team? Submitting institutions, all academic, public, private, and other non-profit and NGOs entities in Qatar with approved research offices are eligible. This is, we mentioned. This is as a submitting institution. For collaborators, we're going to add more institutions from Qatar. So any institution inside the state of Qatar with only at least one BI involved in the project are entitled and eligible to be on board and among the consortium. This is from institution-wise in Qatar. The lead BI in Qatar also, from affiliation point of view, he has to be a full-time affiliate of an approved submitting institution inside the Qatar. Degree, holds a terminal degree as defined by the list of terminal degrees. We have a list of terminal degrees in our documents in QRDI portal. The lead BI can submit only one application per cycle, so only for the cycle. As the lead BI, you can apply only once. A researcher can hold up to 3 roles as BI or lead BI or key investigator in all AICC cycles, excluding the participation in projects ending before 31st of December 2024. So if you have a kind of role right now in our call, academia industry call, cooperation call, is going to end before 31st of December. This is not going to count among the roles, and you're eligible also to submit. As a BI, so the first, we talked about the lead BI. Here we're going to talk about the principal investigator. Affiliation, of course, a full-time affiliate to an approved submitting institutions or collaborative institution inside Qatar. So the BI should be one of these 2 institutions, either submitting or collaborative institutions. The degree, For here, we have some relaxation to the degree, or not necessarily to go to by the terminal degree. So holds at least a university postgraduate degree and should have a suitable research experience. Other roles like postdocs, research associates, research assistants, graduate students, undergrads, students, lab techs, engineers are also allowed. Consultants are also allowed, added to the project, but they are not going to be compensated from the funds of this research corps. We're still in the Qatar side, and here we're going to talk about the budget. This award is up to 730,000 Qatari riyal, which is equivalent to 2,000 US dollar per year for up to 2 years. We used to have 3 years, since it is digital technology, fast running, and 3 years seems to be quite long for this kind of solution. So the decision by the two funding agencies is to keep it, our project, within 2 years. For the budget component, regular as usual, personal, equipment, travel up to 10% of the annual direct budget. Miscellaneous is still allowed up to 5% of the annual direct budget. All those 4 items, we have indirect cost on them up to 10% of the annual direct budget. Here I'm talking about the budget from Qatar. So inherently, I'm alluding that this is going to be only from QRDI side to the Qatari side on, because TÜBİTAK will fund the Turkish researchers, and QRDI will fund the Qatari researchers working in this joint grants. So for the allocation, 100% of the annual budget must be expended in Qatar. 100% of the proposed funded research efforts must be also conducted inside Qatar. So whatever efforts by the Qatari team is going to be 100% here, and we're going to fund it also 100% from our side. And the same, we'll hear it now from our colleagues in TÜBİTAK. More details about this in our QRDI portal. You can walk through our documents, and also we'll guide you to, if you have any query, you will have to submit a ticket. So private institutions are not eligible for personal and indirect costs. Co-funding and cost sharing, of course, are highly encouraged. I'll move you now to the Turkey side, and we have our colleagues from Turkey, TÜBİTAK, Tayyip or Dr. Nihat.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali, and hello, everyone. Thank you for your participation in our 6th cycle, the joint program between TÜBİTAK and RDI. And let me talk about the eligibility of the lead principal investigator and the principal investigator from the Turkey side. So from the affiliation point of view, the LPI or PI should be affiliate with a full-time of a university or public-private sector institution inside Turkey. And the academic degree should be, if it's a university, he or she must hold a PhD degree. If he or she from public or private sector, they should hold at least a bachelor or master degree. The LPI and PIs and other team members can participate with an unlimited number of applications from the Turkey side. Yeah, regarding the budget, as you all know, and as Dr. Ali mentioned, TÜBİTAK funds the Turkey-based team and RDI funds the Qatar-based team. So for Turkey-based team, this cycle will be awarded up to 12 million Turkish liras, this number is excluded of the overheads and the project incentive premium. And if we have a look at the components of this budget, it covers the personnel and the scholarship student expenses and the consumable expenses, the travel of the team, the service recruitment, and tools and equipment. The allocation between academia and industry, the budget of academia or public institutions, organizations cannot exceed 40% of the total budget. So organizations from public sector can 40% of the requested budget. The SMEs are expected to contribute with 25% of the total budget, and the large enterprises are expected to contribute with 40% of the total budget. Yes, Dr. Ali.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nihab. Let's move forward to submission and evaluations. This is the process how to submit your application. So the submission procedures includes 3 steps or 3 hints. Project coordinator needs to be identified to be either Qatar-based lead BI or Turkey-based lead BI, and will be responsible for coordinating the joint application. So this is the coordinator that will be selected from one of these lead BIs, should be kind of a leader or managing the submission here and there. The Turkey-based lead BI needs to submit the joint application to be tagged through this link. And the Qatari-based lead BIs need to also be registered and submit this joint application through oss.qgrants.org. It's also available in our QRDI portal. The link will be there. From Qatar-based team, this is the link, and this is the homepage that you're gonna start with. Email, signing in, and then we'll go through the process that includes these steps, data management, summary, research areas, institutions, co-funding, personnel. All these sections are there in our application, but straightforward is not really hectic, and you can just it takes you from one step to another. So you're gonna start areas, institutions, what institutions are there, in addition to the submitting, of course, co-funding, personnel, research plan, budget, international collaboration, ethical compliance, and IP data management. This is a section that you're gonna walk through in your submissions. The templates, documents, and policies are available in our QRDI portal. You will find everything there, and also the research plan. Also, the template is there in our QRDI portal, and we have here flexibility of pages to craft and write your proposal, not exceeding 25 pages, which is quite relaxed kind of space for researchers. From Turkey-based, I'll invite my colleagues from the TÜBİTAK to walk you through the Turkish side of submissions.
Yes, from Turkey, as usual, you should be registered in our system, IRIS. Otherwise, you cannot apply. Yes,
Dr. Nihab, there is kind of echo.
Really? I'm not. I don't know why,
but still we hear you. Still we hear
you. Okay. Is it fine now?
Still, actually, but still hearable, yeah.
Would you like to continue, Tayyib?
Sure, I can.
Yeah, better from Tayyib. The voice is better from Tayyib. Okay, go ahead, Tayyib.
Okay, thank you. In order to submit an application, we use an online tool, PBS. But in order to log in PBS, you need to have an account on Arbis. Arbis is our database. We collect all the information from our Turkish researchers. So in order to log in our submission tool, first the applicants have to create an account on Arbis. Can you move forward slide?
Sure.
So here on the left side, there is new user registration. If you don't have an account, you simply click on this button and you will get a new screen to set up a new account on Arbis. Next slide, please. Okay. On the screen, the system asks for some information. Your, citizenship number, your name, your surname, your, personal information. By filling out this section, you can create an Arbis account. And then by using this Arbis account, you can log into our proposal submission tool, PBS. Next slide, please. This is the initial screen. When you click on the application portal login, you will get another screen where you plug in your username and your password. Next slide. Yeah, you fill in your username, or you can use your citizenship number, and with the password you just created on Arbis, you can log in our PBS. Once you log in, you will get, next slide, please. Actually, this is the draft application you just create, but before this screen, you will get a different page where you can check out our calls which are open to applications. Once you select the QNRF call, you have to initiate a draft application. Once you initiate a draft application, the system creates a draft application for you. And on the left-hand side, you have different sections. You're supposed to fill, you're supposed to complete each section on the left. For example, the first section is the project coordinator. The system automatically, understands from the account you log in and assigns you as the project coordinator or PI. And step by step, you have to complete all of these sections. And the most important section is the annex, the section called annex. We call it ek dosyalar. You're supposed to download our project proposal file and also budget request file on your computer. And once you fill these forms, then you need to upload the PBS before completing your application process. Once you complete these sections, you need to use your e-signature, and without e-signatures, you cannot finish your submissions, and all the PIs and researchers, they have to use your e-signatures to complete our application process. And next slide, please.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Tayyip, for highlighting the steps for the Turkish applicants, how they can apply in TÜBİTAK platform. Usually submission and evaluation, this is a kind of block diagram to give you the journey of the proposal. Starts from registration, proposal registration submission, vetting, and e-signature. This is a proposal phase that usually created by you as an applicant, and then it comes to us for screening, and we have some criteria for screening related to, of course, plagiarism and other template and other things, and also about alignment and other proposal standards. After the screening, we start right away the review process, which has two steps: peer review and programmatic review. This is the evaluation steps. Once the evaluation steps are done, the results of these two evaluation steps, peer review and programmatic review, goes to the funding decision between the two funding agencies. And once the funding decision is made, we announce the awards. The evaluation process, as we mentioned in the previous slide, it has two steps: peer review step and programmatic review steps. The peer review constitutes 40% of the total proposal grade, and the programmatic review includes 60% of the total proposal grade. The criteria used for the scientific, or we call it scientific peer review, it has 5 criteria: scientific and excellence, 40%, implementation, 40%, budget with no grade, but comments only, potential impact, 20%, research compliance, comments only as well. So this is the peer review step. For the programmatic review, we have 2 main criteria and other sub criteria under each criteria. So the first main one is relevance for Qatar and Turkey. This is 25%. The potential impact for Qatar and Turkey, 75%. For the timeline, it's already, our proposal submissions has been opened in last month, and 28th of March or early April 2024. And we have our deadline from TÜBİTAK side is coming first at the 7th of June 2024. From Qatar side, we're gonna accept until the 12th of June 2024. This is the lead BI, kind of lead BI deadlines. And the research office vetting is gonna be in 26th of June 2024. The screening is gonna start right away after the vetting of the research offices here and there. Proposal screening, we're gonna work on them after the vetting, and we announce the results of the screening in July 2024. Still, applicants have the right to appeal if they are screened out or so. After the screening, after announcing the screening results, we will go through the review steps. As we mentioned, the evaluation is peer review and the programmatic review. Once this is done, we'll go for award announcement in October, November 2024, and then awarding notice hopefully in November, December 2024. We announce the results and we start the process of the pre-funding step. In conclusion, what updates compared to the last cycles? For this cycle, we opted to make it easy for the applicants. So, for example, the scope of our call here is much wider compared to other cycles. So we have here smart cities shaped by digital and space technologies. 5 big themes starts from smart health care, smart environment, smart transportation, smart sports. This is really very wide, and this will give you a scope to tune your research and try to jump in and be among the applicants of this call. This is one thing. The other thing, the eligibility criteria of submitting institutions. We used to have 2+2 in the past, so now we have it 1+1, which is quite easier to compose your team and apply. We also don't want to go deeply for long projects, so 2 years limit. I believe it's also in your favor and will make your proposal more concise and focused. For eligibility, we used to have in the past that, number of restriction from QRDI side, specifically about H-index, and also in Turkey as well. But now there is no H-index requirements for the lead PI or the PIs, and there is no number of publication constraints or restrictions. Number of roles also, it's relaxed, so 3 is really a big number from QRDI, and also from the Turkish side, there is no limit. You can apply as long as much as you can. This is from our conclusion updates. To find your team, to compose your team, we have a LinkedIn group called Smart Cities between brackets joint call. It has now around 220 members, and still you can jump in and approach your partner or your collaborator from Turkey or Qatar. For more inquiry about the Qatar-based team, please submit a ticket to our support qrdi.org.qa. For any inquiry regarding the Turkish team, please also send an email to uidb@tobitag.gov.tr. Thank you very much. Now we're gonna go through the question answers in the that you submitted in the, or you already texted, I guess. Let me get out of here. Nadia, are you there?
Yes, doctor, can you see the questions?
No.
Okay, so shall I read it out?
First of all, why? Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, so starting from Mr. Furkan, 2 questions. By submitting institution, you mean if the party is coordinator or just partner? If the following party is eligible, 1 SME is from Turkey and 1 SME is from Qatar without approved research office. Yeah, the second question is not really eligible because we need the SME in Qatar without approved does not be eligible to be a submitting institutions. So this is one thing, but of course, SME from Qatar, from Turkey, they can submit, of course, to TÜBİTAK, and TÜBİTAK, they can respond to this. I'll leave it also to my colleagues. I don't know, SMEs you allow from Turkey?
Yes, yes, they are eligible to submit an application.
Okay, so from Qatar, we need to have a submitting institution only to have approved research office. For the first question, submitting institution, you mean submitting institution is the one that, the institution that, is responsible to receive the money from QRDI. So we need to have the approved research office. Al-Mahdi, Mr. Al-Mahdi, you mentioned postdocs are eligible to BBIs. No, actually, this is other roles other than the BIs. So the consortium or the team can include, of course, has to include, of course, lead BIs and then BIs and training teams, which includes postdocs, research associate, research assistant, and so on. Yeah, so only among the training team or unnamed team. Sometimes you call it unnamed team. Mr. Oves Wadai, can we apply as an institution within Qatar with an industrial collaborator also from Qatar, only without having collaboration from, no, this is a bilateral collaboration between the two countries, and it must be from both sides. May I get a copy from the PowerPoint? Yeah, we'll manage it, and we'll Nadia, please take a note, and we'll manage to send it to the applicants, please, to the audience, to the attendees. Mrs. Hanan Farhat, if you are applying from Qatar, do you still need a partner from Turkey? The answer is yes. It's bilateral collaboration. If a project has an impact on Qatar only, not Turkey, will it still considered? This is the same answer. So we need something to have bilateral collaboration, and the solution can be deployed here and there. What do you mean by 1+1 project team? 1+1, one from Turkey and one from Qatar. One institution, I mean, from Qatar, one institution from Turkey. Presentation again, yeah, I'll take care of this. Let me know the international collaboration. Yeah, here Ms. Nadia Adnan is asking about some international collaboration. International collaboration in this call, in this kind of program, is not really allowed. It's only bilateral. So it's the participant and the institution must be from Qatar and Turkey only. The Qatari side will be funded from QRDI. The Turkish side will be funded from TÜBİTAK. To be eligible, should the proposal have at least one Qatar-based submitting institution that collaborates at least one Turkey-based submitting institution? Is this mandatory? Yes, at least 1+1. Of course, it can be more, but yeah, I agree with you. This is only 1+1. Can Egyptian participate in AICC? Egyptian institution or Egyptian person? Egyptian person, of course, if he's affiliated to a Turkish institutions or a Qatari institution, he's going to be eligible because he's part of an Qatari and Turkish institution. But Egyptian institutions are not eligible. Do we submit joint application to one funding agency or to both? Yeah, the same application, the same research plan will be submitted here and there. So it's kind of duplicate for the records for the two funding agencies. Requirement for the language of the report or the result of the project, or can be between Qatari academic and one company from without any university from Turkey side. I leave it to you, Tayyib, or Dr. Nihat to handle this. Should I read it for you?
On Turkey side, there is no, requirement for the university participation. Just one company, just one industrial partner can participate in the proposal. University is not required, but there has to be one industrial company from Turkey.
Okay. One more question from Mr. Furkan: how the research office can be approved in Qatar? What is the process? This is, you can approach QRDI or QNRF, and they will guide you how your institution to be have a research office. It has some kind of requirements. Is it a must for a Qatari submitting institution to have a collaborative institution from Qatar, or is just an option? It is an option. No, it's no longer a must. It used to be in the past that you have one Qatari academic, one Qatari industrial. Now it's only one, regardless, academic, industrial, end user, whatever, as long as it has a research office approved by QRDI. So only one is enough. At the LinkedIn group, the only one platform to meet people and discuss expertise of people. If there are other platforms, this is we created this from our side, the LinkedIn group, to help you to. But of course, you have your way to search in the Turkish institution or Qatar institution and start communication. This is just a kind of platform that to help you guys to find your partner, your collaborator from the other countries. Feel free to approach, but we don't have other media from our side to support with this. Is the smart education based on AI, personalized, interdisciplinary, technology integrated, and gaming are included in the scope? I'm not gonna reply to this, Mr. Yusuf. I'll leave it to you to go back again to the RFA, the request for application. Read carefully the themes and see how can you fit within the themes. Otherwise, keep your chances for another call. International SMEs do not from Turkey or Qatar is eligible to apply with a partner from these regions as a subcontract. Are you with me, Tayyip? International SMEs, international, sorry. International outside Turkey and Qatar is eligible. No, international SMEs do not from Turkey. Yeah,
Doctor,
go ahead.
Yeah, we support subcontracting expenses. I mean, our institutions can make procurement from outside Turkey, but we prefer them first make their procurements domestically. But if there is not any other option, then we support their also procurements from abroad. So they, you know, as a solution, they might buy stuff or service from abroad, depending on the, you know, scope of the proposal, depending on the circumstances. It might be an eligible cost for Turkish institutions. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is not a collaborator here or partner. It's only kind of procurement process. So international SMEs, they cannot be part of the team, but they can provide services with certain condition to the projects, which is it has some other communication with the teams themselves, but they cannot be among the team. They have to be from Qatar and Turkey.
Exactly.
Great. Egyptian team participate in this AICC. Egyptian team not allowed because this is exclusive bilateral collaboration between Qatar and Turkey. Is there any platform for cooperation as a partnership? Yeah, this is, you know, the platform for cooperation as a partnership. You need to do your Yaman, I guess, Mr. Yaman. You need to find, do your homework and find your team and compose your team. Talk to your team, and of course, compose an application and apply to us. We're more than welcome. Presentation again. Can you share the link of the LinkedIn group? Nadia, I'll share it with. We'll share it with you. Can we share it to the whole attendees?
I will put in the chat the LinkedIn link.
The LinkedIn. Okay, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Some question here about from Anonymous actually. Is the application only for the whole city design with all criteria, or may it be a project or a solution for cities according to one of? Yes. No, it's one. Your alignment is gonna be only for one, at least one. No need to handle all this criteria. Of course, this is not the whole idea. And it shouldn't be the whole city solutions. This is not the only outcome that we're looking for. Even exclusive services or product is also eligible. So don't overburden yourself with so many things in one proposal. If there is only one applicant from Qatar and 2 from Turkey, this is eligible. Yeah, 1 plus 2 from Turkey, no issue on this. How many projects can be submitted at the same time? This is from, I guess.
Yeah, Doc, on our side, there is no limit on the number of applications. If a PI or a researcher has, multiple proposals, he or she can submit as many proposals as he or she wishes. So there is no limit on the number of applications on our site. Oh. And for the previous question, so 1 institution from Qatar, 2 institutions from Turkey, it is eligible, but provided that 2 institutions from Turkey, it is at least one of them must be a Turkish company from private sector. Provided that this condition is fulfilled, then it's eligible.
Thank you very much, Taib. Yeah, you make it clear. You make it very clear. Thank you. What about Saudi Arabia institutions? Also, this is kind of exclusive bilateral collaboration between Turkey and Qatar. So they are not entitled to be in this program, but other programs they can participate. Dr. Sabri, yes. Can we propose a project in collaboration with France, Algeria, Imrani, for example? Do we have to propose a prototype to apply, or what exactly? Our expectation, the first part I'll leave it to Tayyip. The second part for the prototype is not necessary to have a prototype. And we make some kind of expectation of our outcomes, but it's also not exclusive to our expectation only. You can come up with something that is really has an impact other than that we mentioned. So for the first part, Tayyip, can we propose? Yeah.
I mean, this is a bilateral call, so we expect institutions as project partners from either Qatar or either from Turkey. So an institution from France or Algeria, they are not. I mean, they cannot be project partners in the proposals. But in some other ways, if you would like to get some service or as a procurement from France or from Algeria, I mean, I don't know exact rules on Qatari side, but in terms of service procurement, Turkish companies or Turkish institutions can get service from outside, from abroad researchers, but they cannot be project partners in this call.
The same here in Qatar. So services, procurement, other things from outside Qatar, outside Turkey are allowed to.
Yeah, Dr. Ali, when we say project partners, we say that as TÜBİTAK, we can transfer funds to that institutions, and we are only allowed to transfer funds to Turkish institutions. So I think this same rule applies to you, I
Yeah.
guess.
Same.
Being a project partner means once your proposal is admitted for funding, you will receive funding from either QNRF or from TÜBİTAK. So we expect project partners from Qatar or from Turkey. That's that simple.
Again, some question about Saudi, Turkey. Also, it's exclusive between the two countries. PhD research project for a Qatari student. Not really. This is not the scholarship program. Can you answer about the language part? The language part, here we have bilateral collaboration projects.
So the proposals are expected to be in English. On our side, if the proposal is recommended for funding and if the project is executed, we allow them to write out their progress reports either in English or in Turkish. So they can select the language for progress reports, but the proposal has to be written in English.
Okay, Tayyip. Does the Turkish Institute need to be educational? He means academic, I guess, or industrial. So here I'll leave it to Tayyip as well.
Yeah, from Turkish side, there must be at least one Turkish company. At least one Turkish company is mandatory. Once you find a Turkish company participating, then you can add more institutions. You can add universities. You can add. You can bring along more institutions. Public institutions, universities. But there has to be at least one Turkish company, SME or large.
There is some question from Ms. Nadia. Adnan asking about some tab called international collaboration. I don't know, you mean Qatar or Turkish side, but I'll respond from Qatar side. If you have this tab, international collaboration, it doesn't mean international here. International here, it means Turkish partners or Turkish collaborators, because this is for this program, for this exclusive program, academia industry cooperation call. This is exclusive between the researchers and the developers from Qatar and Turkish. So it means Turkish side. Do you have this tab, Tayyip, in your side, something called international?
No, not exactly.
Okay, fine. The last question here we have, could you please share the LinkedIn profile for Smart Cities? Please, yeah, Nadia will share the link and we'll keep it live. Now we're done with our questions here, and we have 12 plus few minutes. So I believe for the attendees, thank you very much for being with us and thanking for posting these questions. This is really make the picture quite clear to the applicant to apply and become on board. Please, if you have any more questions, send a ticket to QRDI or send an email to TÜBİTAK side. We'll be more than happy to answer your question and support you during administrative support during the submission steps. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Nihad. Thank you, Mr. Tayyip. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Dr. Amina. Thank you all attendees for dedicating the time, for being with us, for asking questions. This is really great for us. I appreciate it.
No, thank you all.
Thank you all.